Real estate people and Bitcoin people have a lot in common. Scarcity, it's a physical asset. You can't take it from me. You can't break it up. You can't grab it. You can't steal it. We have 42 buildings, 15,000 renters. If there's some litigation against me, you're not busting up the partnerships. You're not taking my property away from me. And so as much as there's a lot of middlemen in the real estate, but to me, the two universes between real estate and crypto, when they start communicating to one another, they have this natural symbiotic relationship. And the asset, the pieces, the benefits of real estate, of the cash flow and the leverage that crypto might not have, I think are very compelling to people in the crypto space.
So how do you see that overlap between real estate and I'm curious in what you're doing in the space? Actually, before going into real estate, first, your story into crypto, your stance on crypto early on and how that shifted, especially after the approval of the ETFs and the landscape now that we're moving away from Gensler and the Biden administration.
Yeah, well, look, I'm a coward investor. I don't invest in stocks. I've always been a coward. I get rid of cash. I don't like cash either, by the way. So I get rid of cash. Our companies produce quite a bit of cash, and I want to get rid of the cash. I want to be at zero all the time. And so what can I put my money into? I know if I put my money into a real asset, not office, but apartment buildings like we purchase, they're going to provide me with cash flow. If you're a coward, you like cash flow. And I'm a coward. I admit I'm a coward. Any cowards in the room? I like to put something in, get something out. And so we just accomplished $500 million worth of transactions in Florida that was going to be up here, by the way. We paid cash. We pay cash for these beautiful buildings that we buy from institutions. Those buildings produce a 5 or 6% cash flow, institutional quality, great locations. And we have no debt on it. We'll wait for the debt market to go to 4%, and then we'll put debt on it. But I'll wait until, or 3% or 2%. I believe that we see 3% interest rates again in the next 24 months. I think Trump's going to put his foot on the Fed's throat and say, yeah, I'm not going to fire you. You're not going to quit. You're just going to go to 2. And now, how much real estate can I buy? Well, the cash flow could buy Bitcoin. Now, the way everybody's been trying to do it and nobody's done anything is they're trying to put property on the blockchain. And I've had 5 different groups. I've been on Spaces and saying, hey, you show me how to do that. I'll donate $100 million worth of real estate. You show me how to put it on the blockchain. You show me how to break it up into tiny little pieces and get the SEC to sign off on it. And I'll do the project tomorrow. And everybody's like, I can't quite get there. So the other way to do it is a simple way, which is buy the real estate with cash and have the distributions or the cash flow from the real estate buy the Bitcoin for this massive audience of people out there that do not want to go out and buy Bitcoin because they don't know where to store it. They don't know how to buy it. They actually don't even know what it is. But if the real estate bought their Bitcoin, rather than getting a distribution in fiat, they would get a distribution in maybe a fund that holds Bitcoin.
You kind of flipped it around. Can you go back?
And so that like Ryan Secco, Ryan's, what are you, 40 years old? Okay, you look good for 40. So he's a pilot, he's a real estate guy. He hadn't bought any Bitcoin yet. But if I told him I'm gonna invest in a deal, okay, and the distributions aren't gonna come in cash, they're gonna come in, every month we're just gonna simply buy your BTC for you and hold it. So now I get 2 explosions. I get 3. I get the cash flow. It buys my Bitcoin. It feels like it's free. I get the tax write-off and the depreciation from the real estate. And then I have the appreciation possibility of long-term appreciation of both the real estate and the explosion of the BTC.
So have you launched that? Did you have a date on when you launched it?
We're in progress.
Okay. But you mentioned something interesting earlier because I did see you on a space just a few days ago. And you mentioned a bit of a concern on moving real estate onto the blockchain. You asked, like, show me how to do it. When you had those discussions, what were
Nobody can show me how to do it. Anybody in this room can show me how to do it. I'm ready to go today.
It's a genuine question, by the way, if anyone wants to take up the challenge and actually...
And everybody's like, oh, they did a house in Aspen. Why didn't they do a second house? Oh, they did a hotel in so-and-so. Why didn't they do a second hotel? If you can't scale it, you can't do it. If you didn't do it twice, the first time had some problems. Like, I don't need research. I don't need a white paper on it. Why hasn't there been 50 or 100 or 200 of these projects? Because they're not doable. They're not approvable by the SEC.
So it's a regulatory concern mainly?
100. And, I don't want to go to jail. I'm not interested.
And that applies outside the US as well? You've seen the same? Have you looked into Europe or other countries?
No, I haven't. But
the US.
well, you're right here. I don't even need to look any further than this, right? Like, this is great.
And do you think that could change under a Trump administration, or you'll just wait to see?
I don't think that. I mean, I don't think he can change that. I think he's got his hands full with other projects. So.
Just back to the RWAs, because obviously it's a space we're invested in. So your concerns are something I'm selfishly interested to better understand. So like all the different use cases of kind of moving real world assets onto the blockchain, accessibility, the efficiency of it, leveraging smart contracts, fractionalizing real estate, it all makes sense. But you're saying that the most important hurdle is getting regulatory approval. How long do you think it would take for that to happen?
I don't want to wait for it. So, I mean, nobody has shown me, we're going to get rid of the middleman. You're not getting rid of the title. You're not getting rid of escrow. You're not getting rid of insurance. You're not going to get rid of the mortgage. Like, I don't know what you're getting rid of. What are you getting rid of? It's like, and I have to wait to take this isn't a single family home. This is not one house with one address. This is 300 or 400 or 500 units. I have different leases going through it constantly, okay? I'm gonna break it up into 10,000 pieces, and it's gonna sit on the blockchain. What are you gonna do? You're gonna transfer, what happened? Like, there's no mathematical formula for how you trade that back and forth, and then why would you want to? Like, I just don't understand. Do I get rid of my title? Yeah, I guess I get rid of my title insurance. I get rid of or there's some middlemen that are going to go away. I mean, maybe, but that's not why I'm buying real estate. I'm buying real estate because I think it's going to be more valuable in the future. It's going to provide me with cash flow. And then the big benefit, he's going to come back with bonus depreciation. I'd bet dinner that bonus depreciation goes back to 100%. So a $100 million building should bring $40 or $50 million worth of tax write-offs year one. How do I put that on the blockchain? Who do I give it to? And by the way, once I give it to you, when you trade it on the blockchain, where did that depreciation go?
Another thing, though, you've done, kind of step in the direction, getting your beak a bit wetter, is putting both. I think you put 2 homes on a blockchain-based.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah, I have a house in Malibu, and I have one in Golden Beach, Florida, and we put them both on the what is it, Proppy?
Oh, you put it on Proppy? Yeah. We're invested in them. So.
Yeah, and but so where's the fucking offer?
When did you listen?
Where's the offer, bro? Like, who's going to trade Bitcoin for a piece of real estate? Nobody.
That's a good point.
Nobody's ever going to do that. You're not going to do it. Let's say Bitcoin goes to $1 million. You're not going to trade your $1 million of Bitcoin. You're going to go borrow against your $1 million. You're going to borrow $250,000 against your Bitcoin. You're going to take the $250 and buy your house. You're not going to trade your Bitcoin. Why would you? For toilets and termites, tenants, you're not going to do it. You're going to keep them both. What's better than just the Bitcoin? The Bitcoin and the real estate.
Have you gotten any offers yet?
No, we didn't get any offers. But I mean, I got them priced into the, up into the stratosphere. So, basically they're priced where I just crack somebody.
Well, that might play a role waiting.
But it's great promotion. Like anything to do with the Bitcoin space is going to be great promotion. It's just tremendous amounts of promotion. Now it's sexy, it's exciting, it's in the news.
Your stance, we talked a bit backstage. You've invested in Bitcoin. It's been a long time. The journey started a lot longer than many people would guess. Maybe tell us more about your journey into crypto and where do you stand now in the industry?
So I got a phone call. There was a group doing an event in Las Vegas, and they wanted to pay me in Bitcoin. And I think it went to Jared first. Jared's like, no, here's our fee, and this is what it is. And then it went to somebody else in the company. No, we don't do that. And then I heard about it, and I'm like, hey, I'll take it. I'll take goats. I'll take like whatever. Like, I'm not working that day anyway. I'll go up there and do the deal. Give it to me, right? So they gave me, I forget what, 100 pieces. And I didn't know what it was. I had no clue what it was. I still have them today. So it was about $500. I think it was trading for $500. And my fee back then was 50 grand and travel. And they took care of the travel. And I kept the Bitcoin. And, it was the best speaking gig I ever did. It was the best. I was the best, by the way. I was freaking brilliant that day. And so I still have that today. And again, and then I added some more along the way. Added some at 30,000. and some other things that we've done along the way. But I'm never selling any of that stuff. Like, I'm not looking for a place to get off. It's another thing I'm trying to collect that hopefully I can pass on to somebody else.
You believe in the store of value argument. You're bullish on it.
Well, I really believe that there is no other store of value, So, like, I don't have to convince myself of the store value. We were talking about this morning on the way over here. I'm just convinced that cash is not a store of value. That cash is not king. That was a lie. Saving money is a ridiculous proposition. No one should do it. It's a loser's bet. There's no such way. It is an oxymoron. You cannot save money. It's impossible. There's no such thing as it. So what do I go into? I don't want gold. I have no interest in gold, never had any interest in gold. I'm 66 years old. No one has ever offered me gold or silver for a transaction, ever. So I don't understand the whole gold thing. I'm gonna keep it. I gotta dig it up out of the ground. I gotta put it back in the ground. I gotta pay somebody to hold it, somebody to insure it. If I wanna sell it, I have to get it transported, authenticated, like that's gonna take a week. So I never understood the gold thing, the silver thing. Wall Street, never understood it. Okay, if I buy a stock, I never buy enough. And if I buy enough, it goes down. So I'm trading paper for another piece of paper. I'm trading a piece of fiat, U.S. currency that has God on the back of it, so it's bullshit. Because it says in God we trust, and I don't think God had anything to do with the U.S. dollar. And then I take the U.S. dollar and I convert it to another piece of paper that Apple distributed, or whoever, whatever company. Most of these companies only last 7 years. When I was growing up, they'd last 70 years. Now they're 7 years. These AI companies, you're gonna have 99 of them bust out for the one that makes it. And so how do I convert cash that they're gonna continue to print? What handful of things can I convert a piece of fiat to that has a chance of being more valuable in the future?
It's probably one of the best arguments to clip and present to anyone in TradFi that's still not convinced. But Grant, we're over time. Really appreciate your time, man, and thanks a lot.
Thank you.